Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 61 of Forgecraft, hanging out with Mr. T-Love today. Hey T-Love.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I would like to try something today.
You want to show things first before we try things?
So I'm still like learning how the whole steam turbine system works, but I'm under the impression that if I can generate more steam, this thing can actually generate more power with the steam turbines. I don't think we're maxing out the steam turbine at the moment.
Oh, we're not?
No, I don't think so. And that's why between episodes I've crafted a few things. So I've got another steam boiler here, and I've got another couple liquid heat exchangers, and I'm going to orient them in such a way that makes them work. And then I'm going to basically duplicate what I've got going on underground here. So I really want to see how this turns out. So I'm going to just basically copy this exact. So this has in and out, insert or extract coolant, insert hot coolant. This extracts superheated steam and can insert distilled water. And so I want to make sure I have all of these things. Steam, the superheated version, and water, the distilled version. And this is the coolant drum. This is the lava drum. I'm going to put you away. So I've got the coolants. And then this is the same as the other one, right? Auto extract coolant. Okay, cool. So real quick, just to get a baseline of where we're at. If I pop down my iron drum of coolant here and this empty drum here, so this can insert into there. This can go there.
What is that right there? Oh, is that that's the heating. Okay.
Right. So these guys should be full of hot coolant. This should all be running. And I'm going to turn you off for a minute. And this should be producing 100 EU per tick, and this one should be producing 50 EU per tick until we run out of hot coolant in here. And how much coolant do we have? I might want to get a little bit more coolant just for my testing purposes, but we'll see. But in theory now, and I want to make sure that everything's kind of done running for the moment before I start messing with this thing. But yes, you're empty, and therefore you guys are producing pretty much nothing. It's probably using up the last of the steam, and now everybody's done and cool, and you're back to having distilled water, which is apparently going somewhere. Can't say where that distilled water is going. That's cool coolant. I'd like to know where that distilled water is going. You shouldn't even be extracting distilled water. Wait, are you going into the adjacent steam boiler? You are! Look at you! Being all clever. Into the adjacent steam boiler. Haha! Alright, cool. I'm going to configure this one to 221 millibuckets per tick at 1. That's interesting to note. So let's get
smart.
this configured, right? So we're going to in and out this, right? So extract will be superheated steam, and insert will be distilled water, and extract will be always active. Cool. And I'm going to plop down. So I actually have a drum with a lot of distilled water in it. I have a full drum of distilled water at the moment. But you're going to go in here, and you're going to be extract always active. So you're going to just fill these dudes up. Okay. And then we're going to pop this guy down, and you're going to be insert will be hot coolant, extract will be cold coolant, always active. The same for over here. Extract will be cold coolant, insert will be hot coolant, and always active. Cool. Now we're going to need to get this guy up to the appropriate heat level, right? We have to get him up to 375C. So let's let this thing extract, always active. That should actually fill in. Don't worry about explosions. Explosions are normal.
Well, as long as my stuff's not on the ground, it's good.
It's all good. Oh, right. And inside these need to be heat conductors. Cool. Now we're getting awesome. I wonder if I take you out of here, just out of curiosity. Will that stop it from using up coolant? So you should, yeah, so you're no longer producing. So we're not wasting hot coolant. Not that it's wasting per se, but we'll come back in a minute when this thing heats up to 375. All right, guys, we're back. Remember my decision to make more coolant? I have decided to follow through with such decision, and we're building that up. So just wanted to FYI that we're making more coolant. We should, how are we on distilled water over here? We have a good amount of distilled water right now, dude.
Yeah, well, it's been building up.
Yeah, it's true.
How are we on
I'm
our
gonna want
lapis
more
dust, though?
overclockers.
Yeah, how are we doing on our lapis dust, though?
Well, I'm making more lapis dust. But we could use a quarry at some point running again.
Yeah.
Which is something I'm going to look into doing once we get this whole thing sorted out. Too fast?
So fast.
Seven's
That's pretty good.
Yeah, 7's good. So, making lots of coolant. I decided to go with just a full stack of lapis because it's what we do.
It's already going.
Nice. Put that away. And then we'll let this turn into hot coolant in a moment. Distilled water definitely is the way to go with making large amounts of coolant. Like you would need 8 times the amount of lapis to use water.
Yeah, and lapis is not super duper abundant.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the end of the world, but 8 times is a large amount of times.
Yeah.
Cool. So this is, again, remember, automated from last episode. As long as there's coolant in here, the liquid monitor kicks on the redstone signal. Which, by the way, do you know if we have, like, a newer version of that mod that is cool?
That mod, that is cool. That starts with an S and ends with a...
Amadornis' one?
Yeah. Yeah, it got updated. It's actually really well. You want to go see exactly what Soren has actually done?
I mean, has he done something for reals with it?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff he's done. You probably want to see them. They're pretty, they're over my head when I look at it.
I mean, I'm sure I would like him to explain it, though. Like, I know he did stuff,
would.
and I don't want to, like, I like to, when I'm showing off other people's work, have them be around for it.
Alright, that's fair.
That's kind of my unwritten rule. Unless they're never around, but Soren's around.
Yeah, that's fair. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, I think I've come up with a better reactor design than what I have here.
Really?
We're producing, 328 EU, huh? I wouldn't mind... I want to test this too. I think I've come up with a better design. So this is 344 heat units. I'm going to disable this for a minute and swap out this design. So I'm still wearing my radiation suit, right? Let's come back in a moment here. I want to craft the items I need, and we'll be right back. It's quick. All right, guys. So like I said, I was playing around. I feel like this one's a little bit better with the heat, and it won't ever break. I think it's going to be stable, according to like a little planner dude. But there's one more thing to do, and what makes it
dire safe.
really cool. I mean, it's tech. Maybe
dire safe.
I mean, probably. It's probably safe.
Probably safe.
Probably
right,
is the word I would use.
Oh, let's hope it probably doesn't blow up things.
I mean, I'm sure you do. In theory, I can take these out and put these 3 in. So these are quad fuel rods instead of dual fuel rods. And, all right, so I'm going to do this with a lever at the moment. Because I just want to be, like, super sure that this is cool. Oh, yeah, that's what's up. Dude, look at that. Look how much more heat that is.
That is real. Holy moly.
Yeah. I don't think it's done yet. Maximum heat should be around 1160.
Working pretty well. I mean, everything's holding up.
It looks to be, right?
Yeah, it looks like it is. I mean, the overclock heaters are doing pretty well.
They are, right? Like, it's distributing it pretty well, I think. So I took what was Rorax's design, and I kind of just tweaked it a little bit. And I think this is faster than it was running before with the duals, right?
Yeah, why do you have, like, one heat exchange? You got component heat vent, you got this random heat exchanger way up here?
Yeah, that should probably be a gold one, by the way.
I was wondering, I was like, is that supposed to be there?
Well, that's how Rorax's was. I want to let things cool. So note, by the way, that, like... Oh, cool. Look. Yeah.
We went through all our coolant?
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely went through all our coolant. I wanted to actually test this to see if, like... I wanted to make sure it was, in fact, faster. So, bear with me a moment.
Pretty fast. Fast at sucking out coolant.
I think it is faster, if I'm not wrong. We'll test it again a little bit more off camera, but I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. So that, yeah, it should be the better version of that heat exchanger. Are you all cooled off? Yeah, you are. I think I just need to surround it with gold plates.
I was wondering, because I was looking at everything, like, everything looks the same. Like, what is this one? Yeah, that's what it was bugging me.
Yeah, Rorax's was like that, with that one being not gold. And now that I'm thinking about it, I do want to double check that I have all the right. I do, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm looking at what I did, and this looks right to me. And everything seemed to be staying cool. Like, things were taking damage, but they were cooling off in an appropriate way. So, we'll see. But yes, let's get back to the other test that we were doing. Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken here, that I should be able to now... I want to get this heat level back up. So, yeah, we'll be back in a second. You're active, right? Yeah, you are. Nice. And you're not doing anything with your coolant. So this is, like, not doing anything. And this is catching up. Oh, you're going to need somewhere to dump all that cooled off coolant. Empty and empty.
Lovely.
Nice. All right, so when this is 375, we will be back. All right, guys, we're back, and the system is at 360 and rapidly climbing towards 375. Awesome. 370, 375, and go! We're generating steam. Now I'm going to put you guys back in here, and this should be generating steam. And in theory, now we're getting 200 EU per tick and 100 EU per tick. Awesome. Now, is this condenser keeping up? It is not. So look, the condenser on the right here is just not keeping up with condensing this back down.
Oh.
So that's something that we're going to have to fix. I mean, it's fixable. It's absolutely fixable. But let's... Okay, so let's take these guys out.
Oh!
It's okay. It's just fake. It's fake explosions.
You go and say that, but I remember the last time things blew up here.
It's not real explosions. It's okay. It's
And
cool.
items
It's
went
cool,
everywhere.
dude. It's cool. Relax. Relax.
It's cool. You say it's
Fine.
cool.
It's fine. Relax. Okay.
Alright, fine.
Now I want to scale it up again and do pretty much the exact same thing. Where I'm going to take a wrench and shift right click you and configure. Like,
And
I don't
figure
know
equals
how
better,
much
right?
further we can scale it up to the point. Like, can I get it to the point where it's going to do like all the RF that I want in one steam boiler? I'm not sure. The other thing I have to
That'd be
fix,
nice.
by the way, is make this cool faster, which I can do. I can make that cool faster. So, I mean, that's fine. I'm not worried about that.
So much shenanigans on here.
What's that?
So much shenanigans going on here. Bigger equals better, right?
Sure. So extract cold, insert hot, always active. Extract cold, always active, insert hot. Are you off to sleep, by the way?
Yep.
Thank you, sir. Extract should be superheated steam, always active. Insert should be distilled water. And I'm going to let you run to fill this up with distilled water. Nice, everybody's full. Good, you can go off now. And then I'm going to let the heat exchangers go in. And yeah, always active. Cool. So now this is going to heat up to 375. And we'll see if I've got enough hot hot coolant. I might need to run my reactor again, but we'll see what happens. Back in a minute when we're at 375, and then we're going to test with all 3 of these running, which, by the way, means I need a total of, like 40 more. So, I mean, I'm in good shape. I have 50. So, I mean, I might need a few more of these heat conductors, but they're not terribly hard to make. They're just copper, I believe. Or is it, yeah, it's copper and rubber, so not a big deal. All right, guys, we're back, and I think we will hopefully have enough hot coolant to test this real quick. But what are we producing now? Oh, yeah, we are. Nice. So we're going to run out really fast here, but I think this is kind of working. How's this thing doing? We're definitely filling up with steam very quickly, but we're about to test it. So this should run out now, and these guys are going to burn out of their internal hot coolant, but this seems to be doing, like, a good amount of, like, it's flickering between 200 and 400. So we might be getting close to that limit, but this is also flickering a bit. So we're going to need a heat vent. Yeah, no, relax. Heat vent. I've got some overclocks. I don't know if overclocks work in here. They don't seem to fit. So let's get 3 of them. Heat vents. So when you do heat vents in here, it requires EU. But look how much faster that's draining. Nice.
Crazy amounts.
Yeah, definitely. We have a little bit of extra distilled water here, which I'm going to deal with shortly by telling you that your insert. And that should empty that out. Nice. Okay, cool. And I think... Did you just put a crystal in here?
Yep.
Oh. Where'd you get a laptop crystal from?
I made it.
Oh. Well, where'd you do with my energy crystal that was in there?
I took it and made it from that one.
Okay. I don't know why you did that.
You don't want to upgrade?
Well, I don't know that a Labotron's going to fit inside the condenser.
Oh, wait, what?
Yes.
Why not?
Well, because I don't think that it can accept it.
Too OP?
Yeah, Labotrons usually can't go on machines.
Well, that's silly. Well, let's make another one then.
Make an energy crystal, please. Which is a lot of diamonds. I hope we have them. I just used a bunch.
Right.
Right. Time for T-Love to go mining.
Oh my god, there's no way I'm gonna find any of those.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That's what you get for messing with my stuff. Dyer knows what he's doing.
That's Dyer.
Alright, so let's pop this down and pop this down. And I want to check the speed here at which we're producing. So I'm going to take these out, and I'm going to put the duals in. We're going to activate this thing. And you should be fine with your heat levels, right? So if we're watching this, 22, 28. So what is this doing? Like about 400 every so? 350? Does that sound about right? 350-ish, give or take. So now we're going to turn you off. I'm going to take these out. I'm going to put these in. Oh yeah, that's definitely like more. I think we're getting about 1 bucket's worth every operation. So we're definitely way more hot coolant going in there. That's cool. All right, good. So what I'm going to do is that should turn off the reactor, and this should turn back on the reactor, and now we're groovy, right? So when we run out of hot coolant, we can test this a little bit more, or run out of cold coolant, make it all hot. So back in a minute. All right, so coolant converted to hot coolant successfully. Reactor still here. Good sign as always. Yeah, I'm down with that. And let's go ahead and plop these dudes down. Hot coolant, hot coolant, hot coolant. Everybody running now? Nice. And we're producing, it's flickering between 200 and 400. And you're keeping up? Nice. Yeah, you are. That's awesome. Alright, I want to scale this up once more. Alright guys, I think we're ready for the next test.
I think the zombies are ready too.
Right? explosions are normal.
Mm-hmm. Why are they normal?
I think they're supposed to like represent just like steam going crazy. So let's see, what are we getting here? 1600 KU and 800. It's pretty cool. 400 and 200. So originally we were getting 150, right? Now we're getting 400 and 200 pretty reliably, which is awesome. Now this will probably run out shortly. Yeah, it looks like it is. So boom, it's out, right? And then this will kind of slow down. Now, how's my condenser doing? My condenser's doing fine. It's keeping up with the steam input, which is awesome, right? So 1600 and 800. That is pretty darn cool, right? Because originally, yeah, we were getting, right, 150, right? So that's 400 and 200. So yeah, we're definitely getting 4 times the power production that we were before.
All because we expanded. Whoop.
Yeah, it's okay. It's just
Very nice.
Dying out.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say that this is the design that we need to use. Like, I don't know how far we can go with it, but like clearly it's going pretty well. Kind of just curious into testing and seeing what happens. I think off camera I'm just gonna test this one more level. Like, we're gonna make 5 of them and see where that takes us. But first I want to pop down you and you, so this thing can start running. Good. And we'll be back in a minute off camera doing this. All right, guys, we're back. So this is the last setup that I'm going to do, and this is the 5th of the steam boilers, and we're going to see what kind of power generation this is going to produce. So once this starts kicking in at 375, boom. Now everybody's happy. So with 1 running, we're getting 150. I'm going to populate all of these now. Nice, and now we're getting 400 and 200 flickering. So I mean, we're like flickering between 400 and 600 EU per tick. So that 5th one doesn't seem to be really
doesn't seem to do much.
A lot. Yeah. So I want to say 4. Well, I mean, we're flickering, which is cool. It almost makes me want to do 1 more, but I think we're going to stick with 4. I think that's going to be what we're going to do here. Everybody relax. And now we're, you know, at a nice steady 400 and 200. So that's 600 EU per tick, which is not bad at all. Not even a little bit. Oh, and now we're out of hot liquid, by the way, so that's cool. All right, so yeah, so that's how we're going to wrap it up. So this will be, I'm going to say 4 is the way to do this. And that should be cool. That's just the coolant running out. All right.
Okay.
That's good stuff. I just want to... Good deal, good deal, good deal. So one more thing I'm going to want to do here. Just keep an eye on this reactor a little bit and make sure that we're not having any heat problems. So we'll be back in a minute. I just want to watch this thing for a moment.
Okay.
All right, we're back, guys. So now what I'm doing is... You ready for this craziness, T-Love?
I'm ready.
I ran over to this thing. Here's my drum of coolant. Here's my drum of hot coolant. Well, to be drum of hot coolant. And I'm just going to plug this build that we have over here directly into our reactor as it sits.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Sounds cool to me.
So with this connection, we should see this happen. You ready?
I'm ready. Oh, there it went.
Right?
Going.
Now I'm hoping that we will have a net gain of hot coolant. And if we do, then I'll be very pleased about that. If we don't, then we're going to have to keep an eye on things. But it looks like we do have a net gain of hot coolant here. If I'm not mistaken, it looks like we do. And once all of our liquid heat exchangers heat up, then, like, or at least fill up, kind of. But it looks like we have a net gain, which is cool.
The energy gone.
Here. Keep an eye on this thing. So he's having no problem, which is good. You guys are doing a net gain. I don't want to leave this alone for the time being, because I'm not super comfortable with it yet, but I'm getting close to the point where I will be, if you know what I mean. But yeah, some of these liquid heat exchangers are full, which says to me that we're building up a net gain. And this will rapidly become a net gain here because as they fill, the other ones should fill faster. And once they're all full, we should see a net gain in our drum. And once we see a net gain in our drum, which is happening now, we're in really good shape. Because that means that once we see this backlog clear out and it's pretty much empty, then we'll probably get to a position where we have the reactor down here going on and off. Now, I might build a system where instead of monitoring directly the nuclear reactor, we build like a switch and wait for a drum to have like 20,000 in it before it kicks on, but we'll see. I'm not sure yet. But long story short, like this seems to be in really a good place right now. So definitely a net gain on this, and we're definitely gaining a large amount of EU, 400 plus 200. So right around 600 EU per tick, twice as much as we were getting from the reactor we had before. Right? Almost twice as much. And in theory, we should soon have a point where the reactor is not running full time too. So that's pretty awesome. And it should be stable. I don't think we're going to have heat problems here. From what I understand, and there's a tool that people have written that you can like build test versions of the reactors. So I think it's accurate to say that we should be in good shape. So we'll see. I'm just going to keep an eye on things for a little bit. So for the time being, now that we know that this reactor produces a net gain of hot coolant to cold coolant, I can safely turn it off. So I'm going to do that by doing this.
The switch.
Well, yeah, I'm just going to cut the thing, and that should bring down the heat levels. And then what's going to happen is now that the reactor is off, the hot coolant will start dissipating, right? And we'll use it all up, and then we'll be done. So everything's safe, everything's good. And I believe, sir, that you had something you wanted to show me before we wrapped up this episode. Is that accurate?
Yes, we have to head to the new base.
Okay. I'm letting my Wand of the Traveler recharge itself. New base.
Hey, this matter receiver. Don't come to the dire keep. The matter receiver energy is low. I don't know why.
Oh?
Yeah, that's weird.
Is it low or is it out?
It says it's low.
It should be alright.
Okay.
I mean, is it hooked up to power in any way?
I thought it was. Oh, we got it hooked up to power.
I mean, we have tons of RF down here, so we're not having too much of a
Yeah.
problem. But yeah, what do you want to show me before we wrap up?
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Gotta replace things. Checking what was derping up. Yeah, it's out of power. It's not fully connected.
Oh,
Yep,
there's just a
but
capacitor
I'll
under
just-
it, that's all.
Yeah, I'll fix it.
Okay. We can fix
All
it
right,
later.
so we got a little.
Kilo's been working on
expansions.
stuff.
Yeah, got some expansion things going on.
Nice.
We got our substation over here.
Oh, that's cool.
Sub.
That's neat. Did you chisel and bits this?
Yep.
That looks really good.
I was told by Blue Sunrise that his leaded concrete is built for protecting against nuclear explosions and stuff.
You think that'll work with the chiseled version of it?
I thought that Algo said that it retains the properties that even though it's chiseled, right?
Okay. I would highly recommend that you test this in a single player world.
Yeah, okay.
You know
But
how
still
to do
looks
that,
pretty
right?
cool, doesn't it? Yeah, I know how to do it.
Like,
But
just
it
go
does look
build a
pretty cool,
reactor
doesn't
and throw like 6 4x uraniums in there, and it'll overheat and blow up really fast. And then you'll know
Okay.
if it contained it or not. All right, that's cool. I like it, dude. So this is where you want me to build a nuclear reactor, though?
Yeah, I got tested, of course.
Ooh.
That's why I was asking, like, can you be compact? And that's why I was asking about compact.
So, I mean, if I'm doing a not steam reactor, then this
Yes.
is the space that I need.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
And I could have another one here.
Yep. They're nuclear. Probably want to put over one more so we can actually get up and down. Go over one more?
It can, but I was just trying to center it in the room. Didn't I do that?
Okay.
Like
That
I
works
centered
fine.
this,
Yeah,
right?
that still works. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's centered.
It's not my fault your hatch isn't centered.
All right, fine. That's fair. That's fair.
Nice.
Then we
All
got
right.
the
No, that was
bridge
good.
that I made.
I mean, I could have 2 non-heat-based reactors down there. That shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. Function with form. That's
Nice.
that's Soren's little shindig he's making.
Why is Soren building next to us again? I thought that was half the reason we were moving.
He asked nicely.
Sticky piston? Slime? What is he doing?
I don't know. He's doing some kind of waterfall thing. Like it. I don't know how he did it. There's like a switch that he throws. He's doing the stuff and things in here. Like come where I am if you can see it.
Right.
Doing stuff and things like this.
Neat.
Yeah. I don't know what it does. No idea.
Oh, I'll have to ask him. All right, guys, so we're going to wrap up the episode here. So we will come back next time. And I have to decide what I'm going to do with that heat-based reactor that we've got. Because T-Love made me a sub that's like way too small to use a heat-based reactor. Looking at you, T-Love.
I didn't want to make it I didn't want to make it huge. It's got to fit in the bay.
I mean, it's a nuclear reactor that's big enough for like 3 people. Like a nuclear sub.
Yeah.
Like me, you, and Soren could fit in there. Like most nuclear subs are a little bigger than that.
That's true. We'll just call it a mini nuke sub.
A mini nuke sub.
Yeah.
Like I think there's some nuclear missiles bigger than this.
Yeah, probably.
No, it looks good though. I do like it. It looks cool.
Yeah,
it looks
pretty
cool. I do like
took
the whole
my-
like the crane you have here. That looks awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, so we'll wrap up the episode. Daryl20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take it easy.